Meet Natalie. Natalie loves books.
This is your brain on books. Any questions? And this is Angela. She's a very serious jazz singer.
Shooby-dooby-dooby-doop-doop-doo. And sure, we both like to stay informed, but this world sometimes, am I right? You know what we need? 30 minutes of meditation.
Pop culture meditation.
So we're here to remind you.
We get it. You're smart. But right now, take a deep breath and put your books down.
Hey, Natalie.
Hey, girl.
Spooky season is upon us.
I
know. So,
'tis the season for all the horror.
Yeah. So tell us what you've been doing.
Scott and I've been watching old scary, and new scary movies. Of course, he says that it's not seasonal, that I make us watch these movies all the time, like as they come out.
Right.
I just love a scary movie.
Mm-hmm.
And, but we've been watching old ones now at night. This week we've watched The Exorcist, the original.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
It's a great movie, actually.
Mm-hmm.
It's really well done. Cinematography.
Mm-hmm.
And then we watched the original Amityville Horror.
Oh my God.
That was tough because James Brolin is just so mad all the time. He's got that diamond.
Uh-huh.
And the little girl drives me nuts. And so anyway, then last night we watched When a Stranger Calls.
Dude.
And Scott was the one, he picked that one. And then first 10 minutes, he's like, actually, I've never seen this.
You know what
He was like, The Calls in the House. I was like, oh, okay. He's like, remember they did this like Scream and all these other movies off this. I'm like, yeah. Okay, this is really scary. Like, it's so creepy and grody feeling.
Yes,
and
I know.
Violating.
Yeah, that was the movie that like scared us all when we were little kids. Like the calls coming from inside the house. What?
And he like ripped these children apart.
Ew.
Just like ripped them apart.
Okay, well, I've never seen it and I'm still not going to go see it.
Carol Kane is in it.
Oh, love her.
Love her.
I think what I'm going to do just to scare myself is I'm just going to go in my bathroom and turn off the lights and scream Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary.
I used to do that all the time. I would always call for Candyman.
And did it ever happen?
No. I didn't. No, it didn't.
You know why? Because you probably rebuked it.
Well, I'm a walking rebuke.
Yeah.
Rebuke it. I'm a walking rebuke it. Yeah.
Rebuke it.
It's always rebuked. So tonight we're going to watch Fright Night.
Oh, okay. Dang, girl. You guys are leaning in.
Well, that's just one of them. Tonight, I think it's TGIF. So I think tonight we get 2.
Sweet.
And then we restarted 30 Rock for him. So that's like a little palate cleanser.
Yes.
So like wean off nightmares. Like, it's fine.
Well, I'm going to put on some fun wigs. I'm going to pour myself a nice apple cider and get some donuts. And we're going to present this encore presentation for our listeners of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
My favorite scary movie.
Our episode called Bobbing for Chainsaws, which we did last year. And I recently listened to it and I thought, people need to hear this again. It's all about, fulfilling your goals and, running hard, getting your cardio in and
run hard.
Mm-hmm. And don't give up. Just don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Leatherface was, what he wasn't? A quitter.
Exactly. Yeah, that's right. So, ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy this encore presentation of Bobbing for Chainsaws. And we'll see you next time. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, hey, girl.
Hey,
okay.
Hey.
Hi.
Hey. What's up?
Girl, what's up? Happy Halloween.
Hey.
It's Halloween.
Oh, yeah. Happy Halloween.
I know. I didn't even put on my costume yet. I don't have a costume this year.
I don't do that.
I know you don't, but I really love Halloween. And
because
I would dress up.
You're amazing at it. It's like a gift. It's like
I would dress up right now.
If you didn't do it, then you're doing a disservice to the entire world.
People deserve to see my costumes.
Quite frankly. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And now that your Arkansas governor is Sarah, I feel like I can revive my costume from a few years ago when I dressed up as Colonel Sarah Huckabee Sanders. So it was a mashup.
Yeah, and that was incredible. But I feel like I don't think you can do that now without it being like
weird.
Bullying, kind of.
Oh, well, I just thought it was funny because it was the names. And it
No,
was
no, no,
like
no, no.
Colonel
That
Sanders'
that wasn't
beard.
then. It wasn't like that then. I'm saying how it
Oh,
would be now.
oh,
It's just
yeah.
too
You think I would
easy.
be too bullyish?
I mean, you just be too good. That's
Well,
what I'm
okay.
saying.
Fine. Whatever. So it's Halloween, and we told everybody, we warned them, we told them, everybody, if you're listening, we told you, we warned you that it was going to get scary. It is,
Woo!
ooh, and it is going to get,
Just kidding.
yeah,
Sorry about it.
it's going to be super scary today because we are talking about 1974's The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Y'all.
What?
Yeah. I'm just going to go ahead and introduce it just in case anybody hasn't seen it. I'm going to read the synopsis
I
on
think people have
Wikipedia.
actively avoided this
They have
in their
actively avoided
lives,
it.
which
I
is
did.
absolutely fair.
It is what you should do, frankly. Well,
It's kind of an
yeah.
important movie, but okay, go ahead.
It is important. Okay. So The Texas Chainsaw Massacre is a 1974 American horror film produced and composed and directed by Tobe Hooper, who co-wrote it with Kim Henkel. The film stars Marilyn Burns, Paul A. Partain, Edwin Neal, Jim Sydow, and Gunnar Hansen. The plot follows a group of friends who fall victim to a family of cannibals while on their way to visit an old homestead. The film was marketed as being based on true events to attract a wider audience and to act as a subtle commentary on the era's political climate. Although the character of Leatherface and minor story details were inspired by the crimes of murderer Ed Gein,
Ed Gein. Mhm.
its plot is largely fictional. I also want to say that the film opens with a chilling narration describing what the film is about, and that narration is done by none other than Natalie's best 80s love interest, the man she was really into, John Larroquette from Night
Hold
Court.
for applause, John Larroquette.
Yeah.
I still don't believe that. I'm still like so upset with myself that I didn't recognize his voice because
Yeah.
Lauren and I have this whole game like we're like name that voice like
Mm-hmm.
narrators anything on commercials and I can usually do it like really
Yeah.
well, and I went back and listened again to the intro today and I still was like bullshit, that's not John Larroquette. Well, by
Well,
damn
it's
if it isn't. I looked at all your links that you sent me
yeah,
to prove it and you were right.
but
I still don't. It's still just crazy to me.
it's because his voice he's not talking as himself. He's speaking as a narrator. So I think that's probably throwing you off. But also, he was young, like way younger.
Yeah.
So his voice was more pure.
Well,
Like it wasn't
the other
as
thing
low.
with the background of the narration is
Mhm.
the iconic sounds that
Yeah.
you'll hear from this movie, like the is it a soundtrack? Like, I don't know. It's like
It's a
that. It
soundscape.
sounds like a screen door opening and shutting,
Yeah.
kind of. It's like
Yeah.
known for that. And like anytime
Yeah.
you hear that anywhere, you're like, Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Yes. It's like a soundscape, I would say. You know, like
Okay.
there's
Oh,
just
yes.
sound,
Good words.
right?
Good words. Yeah, love it. Love it.
Thanks.
We sound profesh.
So professional.
Yeah.
So basically, it starts off with, a grave robber has stolen a corpse. It has hung it into a cemetery. The next day, somebody sees it, and then this family of teenagers / young
friends.
adults.
They're couples with the obnoxious brother.
Yeah, which, frankly, he's one of the characters that everybody like when you read reviews of this, people are like, well, he needed to go.
Thank God.
Yeah, like get him out of here. But
he is such a whiny.
Oof. Yeah. Oof. Yeah.
Oof.
They pick up a hitchhiker. The hitchhiker says that, his family was, has experience with, animal slaughter and whatnot. And then the kids are they kids? They're like young adults, I guess, right?
I'd say they're like maybe
Teenagers?
19, 20,
Yeah.
early 20s.
Yeah. And
Back
anyway,
then, everyone looked a little bit older than they were.
it's super true.
I mean, dudes in the 70s looked 45 and they were 20.
Right. Yeah. Basically, there's a point where they run out of gas, so they stop at a station. They say there's no fuel. They go into an abandoned house, blah, 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 and then people start dying. Suddenly everybody's getting murdered.
Right.
Right.
For me, this is my favorite scary movie.
Yeah. Is it?
Ever.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
It's just like, I mean, we say this a lot, but talk about an onion, all
Oh,
right? An onion of a movie. It's just like,
wait,
and
do we
what's
say
this?
that a lot? Talk
I
about an
feel like
onion.
I say that. I think almost every. I'm like, oh God, this onion. I mean, let's peel that back those
This is
layers. I don't know. I feel like I do. But I definitely think that this movie set up and created a lot of horror movies. Like
oh yeah, for sure.
it became for good horror movies. I believe
Yeah.
it was the platform. It was like the prototype, the bare bones of like, I'm not saying what I want to say.
Yeah, the
The
pattern, the archetype,
no, like it's like
yeah,
the
the template,
blueprint.
the
I'll say
template,
blueprint, the
the
template
template.
of
Yes.
well done horror movies.
Mhm.
Because this is this is thriller, this is slasher, this is horror,
Yes.
this is a screamer. Um,
Natalie, I mean,
it's a screamer,
with the I that so
and
here's what
also it
I
has
yeah.
my biggest fear: inbreds.
Mhm. I people who are
It,
inbred.
is that how do you
Well, I mean, I
no
think
what
that's a nicer way to say it.
inbreds,
People who have
right?
been inbred, not just inbreds.
Inbreeds.
Inbred. People who have
Okay,
been
so
inbred. They're people,
I don't think
Natalie.
that's offensive. I'm
They're
sorry.
people. They're people.
Oh no, I
To
understand that.
acknowledge that they are human people.
I'm talking about in scary movies, they make them,
Yes.
you know,
Be often incest. Yeah.
bad guys.
Yeah. There
And I'm just
and
talking with horror movies. I'm not talking every day. I'm so sorry. I'm not trying to offend any people
inbreds.
who are inbreds. Shit. I don't
Okay.
want to offend anybody. I'm just tiptoeing right
She,
around that one,
you
and I'm
really
gonna
are. We're
just
walking on eggshells
I'm
now.
walking. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do a front handspring over that, and let's get back into it. So,
okay. So
this movie, I love the fact that this kind of started the whole thing where this was based on a true story, like Blair
right.
Witch and like Paranormal
Right.
Activity and all these movies, all these
Yes.
scary movies are like, this is real. And it's not, but
No.
at the same time, it could happen. Like this movie could absolutely have happened. And
Sure.
it is to me, and that's why it's like kind of like Deliverance. This is like Deliverance
Yeah.
was after, wasn't it after Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
I think
Yeah,
so.
had to
Yeah.
have been.
I think so.
Like,
Yeah.
it was in the 70s. And I tell you
It's
what,
definitely that
70s
same
movies
era.
are the 70 horror movies way
I know.
scarier than any other
Oh,
horror movies current
100%.
right? I mean,
Yeah.
Rosemary's Baby, The
Mhm.
Exorcist, like all of
Yep.
this is like they knew what they were doing and they
Yes.
created this entire world that
Yeah.
has now gotten into like that just is just nasty. And I will
Well,
watch any scary movie any day of the week. We know this, right?
yeah, we do. Yeah.
But the
Yeah.
caliber of these
Yeah.
scary movies today versus I think it's gotten better. I think
Yeah.
the 90s and early in the 2000s garbage, but I think it's gotten a lot more elevated again
Yeah.
with like A24 Studios has really re-elevated the horror movie, like
Right.
Hereditary and Midsummer, all that. I think it's done a good job. But this movie was shot with $140,000 budget
Right.
and it made over $30 million.
Yeah.
Okay. And let's talk. How do you want to start? Do you want to talk about the acting first,
Oh.
or do you want
Well,
to talk about why do people pick up hitchhikers?
I mean, those are both extremely valid points. My first thing is like one of the reasons I just wanted to glom on something you just said, which is like, yeah, it was low budget. And something about
Those are the
low
best
budget
ones.
makes things even more real because there's no slick and isn't it shot in like 16 millimeter or something?
Yes, the
Or 8
cinematography in
millimeter? I
this
can't remember
movie
what
is mind blowing. It
yes,
is
it
like,
is.
and it's
It's
That's why
grainy.
it's another way it's real because
Yes. It
it's
looks real.
grainy. It looks real. It looks like a homemade movie that's of
Yeah.
some person that made the cut of not getting cut in half with the chainsaw.
Right.
But it's just
Yeah.
like you feel like you're there without
Yeah.
getting motion sickness though, like Blair Witch.
Yes. I
That was
know.
like overkill.
Yes.
See what I did
It was
there?
Oh!
Oh,
Hello. Watch out.
look out. Coming in hot. But
Yeah,
yes,
that was
you're right. I'm like,
overkill.
it was so well done, and I
Yeah.
loved the way they shot this movie and the way the film looked. And it at the anniversary, I think it was like was it like maybe the 30th anniversary? The director like kind of like recut it and so it could like be in HD, but he maintained a lot of the original cinematography, and it's
Mhm.
just I think it's an amazing movie. And you think with this movie there's going to be a bunch of blood everywhere. It's not that bloody.
It's not that
There's not
bloody,
a lot of blood.
but it's so psychologically
Bloody.
terrifying that you don't need to have the actual blood in order to feel
Exactly.
terrified, which is
No,
what's so
you
good about it.
don't.
Yeah.
Because also the actors are obscure. You've never seen these actors
I
before.
was
So you
just gonna
also
say
think
that.
they're like real characters.
Yes, you're like, "Who
And
is
I
this?"
honestly thought I thought everyone should have been nominated for an Academy Award,
Including Leatherface.
including Leatherface. Like I genuinely was like, I mean, they are so, and like I know under the conditions of the filming, it was
Mhm.
like in Texas, it was like 100 degrees. They were all miserable. It
Mhm.
was horrible,
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
right? But they I mean, minus Franklin, the brother. And you know
Yeah.
what? Give him like an MTV Movie Award or something simple that
Sure.
for being the most obnoxious, you know, annoying
Yes,
piece of shit
person
ever,
on film ever. Yeah.
ever.
Yeah, I know.
But anyway, I just got out a lot of that. But the other takeaway at the beginning of this movie is these guys were calling their girlfriends their old ladies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hadn't heard that in a while, and I swear to God, I was trying to think if I had ever been called someone's old lady, and
Uh,
I absolutely have
I
not.
hope not. I hope not. I
No, I
haven't.
mean, surely not.
No.
That would have
The
been
old
it.
lady?
I
No,
mean,
Frank
good
would
Lord,
never
who
ever
knows?
no, Frank would never say that about me.
Well, I don't think our beaux can say that about us as we are
No.
younger.
Right, but but
I mean,
still, like, we're much
science.
younger. Yeah, we're
Yeah, but science. Hey,
are we gonna call them our old men, though? It's my old
no,
man. I would never call him
no,
that. I'd be like, "That's
no.
my
Well, because it's not
gentleman."
accurate.
It's not
Yeah,
accurate.
no,
It's not
no,
an
no,
old
no.
man.
Or like,
Okay.
anyway.
So here's the thing. I don't want to go through all of it, but I just want to give you some highlights of things that happened for me when I watched this. Okay.
All right. Oh yeah, I like that. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So one thing is, I've been going since this podcast. Like I've been trying to watch scary movies more at your urging, and I've always thought that I hated scary movies and I was too scared to watch them. I will tell you, this film was my Waterloo. Like this was the one for me of all the scary movies we've talked about recently that like I can't handle it. It's
It's
just
scary as hell. It is
it's
so
scary. Yeah.
fucking scary. Sorry,
It's
Darren.
scary. It's
That was
scary.
a big one.
It not only is it scary, but part of the thing about it and the horror and the terror is that it goes on for a long time and it doesn't let up. Like it
No.
just keeps going and
Right.
going and the
Right.
screaming keeps happening and there's just screaming. And so it just almost it rattles your nerves so much
Absolutely.
that you're just like on high alert the whole entire time. So it's not just being scared and like having something jump out at you and you can kind of laugh it off. And it's not like when we watched, The Conjuring and like the fight scene in the attic with like the beds flying across the floor and you can kind of see the cinematic, you can see
Right.
the
Strings.
the strings basically. This is not
Mhm.
like that. Like this is
No.
it's not it's really
It's
realistic.
it's actually terrifying. And
So
it's almost like a tightness in your like there's like
yeah.
there was like a
Y-
lump in my throat
Yeah.
when you're watching it because you're like, I mean, this kind of terror exists.
Well,
And this movie isn't wild. Like it's like wild in that
yeah.
it's not it couldn't happen, you
Yeah,
know?
and also, like, anytime there is a cannibal I'm sorry, Natalie, cannibals do it for me, like, not in a good way, like,
Okay.
they do the
I'm glad you
scare
clarified.
you're like, "Could you clarify that?"
Yeah.
Cannibals do it for me, you can quote me on that?
No,
Um,
we can't because that's not what you
no,
meant.
that's not what I meant, like, they are the ones who scare me the most. Cannibals scare me the
Yes.
most. Yep, that's it.
See,
I think
mine's
that's
that's one of mine too.
mhm,
That is
mhm.
terrifying. But also I think it's such a I have two sides to that. It terrifies me because like people do that, but at the same time I'm like, "Ugh, get over yourself. Oh, you're gonna like you eat you eat people. Okay, fuck off. Like you're just trying to like shock me with your deviant behavior. Like I just feel like it's a front. Okay, Nobody
Well, what?
really wants to eat people. Even Jeffrey Dahmer, I'm like, you know what? You wanted attention. Okay.
Oh,
They just want attention and I don't want to give it to them.
but I mean,
What?
well, Natalie has spoken on the cannibal issue. Apparently, she has stated the facts that they just want attention and
They're like,
they
oh,
don't
this is
really.
the worst you can get.
You don't think that they're really going to like cut off your leg, cook it, and like munch into it?
I
People have
mean,
done that to survive.
that's different.
It's
Survival
is
is
it?
different than
Is it different?
yeah. Like I'm sorry, but if like everybody died in a plane crash, like the movie Alive,
Yeah. Would you eat someone?
that's not cannibalism. They're not doing that
Yes,
because
it
they want.
is.
Okay, technically it is, but they don't want to do that. But they don't have. They're stuck. They don't have food, and someone's already dead. So you might as well get a
Would
little
you do
butt
that?
cheek.
Would
No,
you?
no, I wouldn't. But I don't. I understand why people would in that situation. No, God,
Would
I couldn't. I'd eat snow.
Would you drink your own
Urine?
urine?
No.
You
But we all
wouldn't?
say this.
Yes, we all say this, but we
We
don't
say this.
know.
You know what? I'd be like, get me a pint of my own urine. Okay. If I made it out of there alive, I might only drink my own urine. Okay. I can't say yes or no to these things that I'm not in this like survival. You get one life, Angela. Like,
I
what are you
know.
going to do? I'm not going to, I do not want to eat people.
Okay.
But what if it's like the only thing you can do?
Well, what if that was what Leatherface's family thought? Maybe
That's
that was
not what they thought.
what
They
why
tortured because they tortured and killed, and it was funny to them. The laughing in this movie is like one of the scariest parts. Like the laughing from the family members laughing at the victims, and as they are screaming terrified,
Yes.
is what gives me the nightmares. It's not the
Yes.
chainsaw. It's not even the screaming. It's the laughing and the is it callousness? Is that the right word?
Yeah, the callousness.
Of human life and
Yes.
enjoying someone's absolute terror and
Yeah.
enjoying someone like that afraid, like that
Yes.
that's the part that scares me the most.
Yep. Okay, do you want to tell us what scene scared you the most or what your favorite scene is in this movie? Is there one? Do you have one?
Well, all right. I have a couple of things.
Okay, tell me. Talk to me, Goose.
So, well, all right. The teeth when the girl walked in and saw all the teeth.
Oh.
Teeth, I have nightmares about my teeth falling out all the time. All different kinds of ways.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So when I see a bunch of teeth, I'm like, oh,
yeah. No.
No,
Nasty.
if I'd ever walked in a house and saw teeth, I'd be like, oh, later, boyfriend I won't remember in 10 years and like run for my life.
Yes,
right?
For sure.
And then also like and when she saw these teeth, like all those bones were everywhere. They were like,
yes.
And like, but I grew up collecting bones and rocks.
Yeah.
Like I love, and I mean, they were already there.
Yeah.
I love bones. So maybe it might take me a minute when I got in there and been like, oof, these look cool. And then I was like, oh, they're arranged like demonic. Oh, this is like really scary. And there's a pile of teeth. So run,
Yeah. And on that note, we'll be right back. Friends, here's a little secret. We are sponsored by Laser Care Skin Clinic of Little Rock, Arkansas. And did you know that people from all over the country travel to Laser Care to get services and treatments by Dr. Bruce Sanderson and Natalie C. Sanderson Jones? It's because they trust the excellent service they receive at Laser Care. Laser Care specializes in all manner of popular cutting-edge and effective skin treatments, including Botox and other fillers, body contouring, tattoo removal, microneedling, and ultrasound skin tightening, just to name a few. Dr. Bruce Sanderson is known in the industry as a talented artist, making you look totally refreshed without any of that scary, overfilled look. And if you're a listener of Put Your Books Down, you know that Natalie C. Sanderson Jones is the licensed esthetician who always provides excellent care in a clean, safe, and private experience. Lynn Haley is the dynamo at Laser Care who makes it all work, so give her a call at 501-664-5119 and book a free consultation today. Call Laser Care Skin Clinic at 501-664-5119 and book a free consultation. Because wasn't it Mae West who said, "You're never too old to become younger"? Laser Care Skin Clinic.
And back to the show.
Yeah.
But I
Run away.
think that my favorite part of this movie was the end.
Oh yeah.
Because
Tell us.
when
Yeah. Well,
I think
I'll
that
tell you.
when okay.
I'll tell you my favorite part because it's before that, and then you can
Okay.
tell your part about the end.
Mhm.
So my favorite part of this, when I had to take breaks, by the way, watching this, I had to
Yeah.
like pause it, take a
Yeah.
break, and
Yeah.
like I also had to watch it on very low volume because I could not handle the screaming. Like it was just too. I know it's crazy, but I had to get through it somehow, you know. But
Mhm.
my favorite part, this is just awful, but my favorite part is when what's her name, the main character girl,
Sally?
Sally. She gets away and she runs down to the store and she's being chased by Leatherface with the chainsaw. By the way, one thing did make me laugh in this because I was able to separate myself a little bit is when he's running with the chainsaw and he's got the mask, the Leatherface thing on, and he just keeps going and going and going and going and going,
I
and
mean,
he's
that guy
running
has
and he's
serious
not in
cardio.
shape. It's like
Well, to
I
not be in
know.
shape, he runs so fast, he never
I
stops.
know.
He's
But,
got
like,
to be
the
on
way
steroids.
I
He's on
know.
steroids.
So I was like, "How does he keep running?"
I'm like, I am mad impressed with his stamina
I know.
for exercise.
Exactly. He's just chasing and chasing
He's
and
an
chasing.
exerciseaholic, I can tell you that right
Seriously.
now.
I mean, and to also be doing it with a chainsaw, like, that's some weight to be carrying
Yeah.
around, you know? But, yeah, he has an interesting, gait to his run.
I mean,
It's not the typical one that you
it's
would
not
see.
slow.
But it's also not like real straight arrow. It's kind of sideways and weird. But anyway, so that kind of made me laugh. But then the part that actually probably freaked me out more than even when she gets caught back in the house is when she gets to this store and the guy at the
Oh,
store, she thinks I have finally made it to safety. This store owner is going to help me.
yeah.
And he, instead of helping her, like grabs her and puts her in a knapsack,
Like a garbage bag.
like a garbage, like a, what's that called? There's a word for it. It's like a farm bag, like
Potato sack?
yeah, like a potato
It's like
sack
a
or
potato
something,
sack.
or like a flour sack or something. He puts her in there and then like kidnaps her and takes her back to the house. And when he's in the truck with her and she's in the front and he has that, oh my God, he has a
A
broom
broomstick or
handle.
something, he
He has
just
a
like keeps hitting
broomstick
her and
and he keeps
laughing.
poking her with it. And she's like, ah! And he keeps poking her with it. And that is my nightmare. That is my nightmare because
That
I'm
is my
like,
nightmare as well.
because
Because
I'm like,
that would happen.
I finally got to safety. And then it turns out that I'm not safe.
Hard no. Hard no, you
Hard,
didn't.
hard pass on the safety.
Yeah. You just need to don't count your chickens again.
Oh, you just don't know, and that's one of the things about this movie too. That it's up and down and up and like it's
It's a
just that
wild
whole
roller
thing.
coaster of
Yes,
stress.
it's stressful.
But there was a scene, I meant to mention this.
Yeah.
There's a scene where Sally and her brother
Mhm.
Franklin fight over the flashlight. He's like, "No, Stella, don't leave me now." And I just don't, no, don't go on and leave me now. I'm just going to stay right here. And she's like, "Franklin," and she's in perma scream mode
Yeah.
already.
Yes.
"Franklin, I have to take it." And then I remember I was like, that flashlight fight between Sally and Franklin was like me and you when I needed more cigarettes while we were at the bar. And I was like, "I'm going to go to the bodega and get some more cigarettes." You're like, "No." I was like, "Come on." And I was like, "Angela, I've got to go." And you're like, "Come on now, Natalie. You don't need to go in and get them cigarettes. Like, we can go bum some off in somebody in there. You don't need to go get them the cigarettes." I was like, "No, Angela, I've got to get the cigarettes." Like, I was like, "Wait here." Like, "Well, no, now, Natalie, I'm going to come on with you now. I'm going to come on now
Oh
with you."
my God.
Right? Natalie, I'm going to come on now with you now, okay? I'm going to come on. I'm coming on.
I had no idea that I talked like that, but you know.
No, I'm doing Franklin's voice.
Oh,
No,
Franklin.
that's
I
not
thought you were
your
saying.
voice.
I thought you were saying it was
I'm
me.
inserting our
Oh.
conversation
Oh, gotcha.
in Sally and
Yes.
Franklin.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
See
missed
what I
all
did?
that.
It was
I did.
acting, Angela. I'm an
I'm
actor.
so sorry. You are an actress.
And a knack for impressions. Hi.
Mage.
Are you here? Are you with us? Are you
Now
back?
I'm with you. That was amazing.
Okay.
Now that I'm
No,
yes,
that is
thank
not
you.
how you talk.
Okay, thank you. Whew.
That was you were your voice was Franklin and I was
Okay.
Sally screaming to
Okay.
go get the cigs. You're like, "Come on now, don't go. No, you don't need to go do that now."
Okay.
I can't decide
You're cracking me up with this.
With that accent, though, that
I
does
feel
sound
like you've
like
put.
Franklin, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But also, also,
Yes.
like people that pick up hitchhikers, like I don't understand. And I was
Oh
watching this with Scott,
my
and I was like, I
God.
looked at him, I go, why do people pick up hitchhikers? Because
This
that starts
is
it all.
this is the
He was like,
thing.
"Oh, I used to do that all the time," and I was like, "Ugh, whatever." And
Okay.
he
See.
said something. He goes, "This was 50 years ago of movies. This is 50 years ago of movies that warned us not to do stuff like this." And
Yes.
that's when, like Scott said, when the girl went in after her dead boyfriend, like who
Yes.
was already dead. The friend went in and he was already dead. She was like, "We this is
Yes.
what we've been learning for years never to do."
Yes.
And it's like one of those things, and it's like the psychology of it is like we don't learn from watching
Right.
these. Like, don't do that. Don't go in this
I
house
know. I know.
and do this.
I know.
You're not saving anybody. Don't be a
It's
hero. You know what I'm saying? Not in a plantation like that. Well, don't go to a plantation. Second of all, don't go to a psycho killer's estate,
lair. Yeah.
lair,
Don't do it.
dungeon. Don't
Dungeon,
do it.
whatever. Don't do
Listen,
it.
it's not funny. It's not cool. Even if you think it's a haunted house, it is haunted with
Yeah.
real shit.
And I think that really truly is, for me, the terror of it. It's like, it's not safe. And we live in a world where we think we are safe. We think we are safe. We think, you know what I mean?
I think it's arrogance on our
It
part.
is, I guess,
I
but is
think
it
that we
really
are
like,
we think that we're safe and like this whole world is bonkers. But
yeah,
it's and we're constantly thinking like, oh no, I'll be fine. Well, when you put yourself in such a compromising, like why would you ever want to put yourself in this situation like that? Why would anybody want to pick up a hitchhiker in this day and age? Like,
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
there are movies called The Hitchhiker.
I know.
Okay.
Don't do it.
Just
Don't
don't
do
do
it.
it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. You know what? Throw money out the window for a
Whew.
bus ticket. That's what if that's, I'm all about helping people, but
Yeah.
don't put them in any strangers in your car.
No.
But Jeffrey sent a note about the soundtrack.
Oh,
Actually, back to
yes.
we were talking about the soundtrack, the movie. The soundtrack contains no sounds from musical instruments, with the exception of some of the copyrighted music that they had.
Rights
Instead, they
to, yeah.
used sounds an animal would hear inside a slaughterhouse. That's exactly right.
That's what it
That's
is.
exactly right.
Yes. Oh my
So,
gosh. That's
yowza.
yes. Oh yeah, for sure. Yowza. Thank
Yowza.
you for that little bit of
But
trivia, Jeffrey.
also the chainsaw since this movie became
Yes.
a integral cog throughout horror film. Like think of
Wow.
American Psycho, like everybody I know,
Yes.
right?
Your language is, jeez. Wow.
I mean, I can't pronounce things, but I can say cog.
Integral cog.
But this like created the chainsaw for all these horror movies. So and it
Yes.
came from, I don't know if anybody would have ever thought about a chainsaw. I'm sure maybe down the
Yeah.
line, but really this began, and
Yeah.
even up to current movies with the chainsaw. It's like based off of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and in American Psycho when Christian Bale like has the chainsaw and we have to talk about that movie
Yes.
another time. It's one of my favorite
Yeah.
books.
I know.
But anyway, it's just,
Yeah.
and the movie's hilarious. It's like making fun of a lot of like yuppie. Anyway, this is like the OG scary movie,
Yes.
and that of a killer that never gets tired.
The killer never quits.
Never gets tired. Never quits.
Never
And
quits.
it's up to you
Yes.
to to get away. And if you don't, he ain't getting tired.
Yeah.
Jason doesn't get tired. Freddy Krueger is like in your dreams. Like nobody gets tired.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Chucky doesn't get tired. He's a child.
They don't quit. Nope.
They don't quit.
And I think that's the biggest thing that terrifies us the most is like, oh my God, there's no getting rid of that.
They don't get tired. And so you can't even,
There's
and
nothing
like,
you can do.
Outrun unless you hop in the back of a truck. You're toast.
Yeah. And so, okay, so tell everybody, so we're gonna do one more part of your favorite scene that you were about to mention before with Sally. And then we'll
end.
Wrap.
So
yeah.
The trivia that we both read about is in this article.
Yes.
The scene where she's tied to the chair and the grandfather's like sucking the blood out of her finger.
Yes.
So they were so exhausted, and she was actually tied up, and she had so much trauma from that scene because it felt so real. And she's like, all of her screams are legit.
Yes.
Like the movie really messed her up because
Yes.
it was so scary and the actors were so good. And So when she's at the very end, she gets away from Leatherface and she's like in the back of the truck and she's laughing and screaming at the same time. That
Yeah.
was not acting. She
Right.
was so glad to be done with the movie under those conditions and even the director was like, I know it was horrible, but it really brought out their acting.
Yeah.
But I mean, okay, I don't think you can get away with that now.
No, it was
But
like,
he did.
that is
And
not.
she was like, and I remember it said that when they had to do a reshoot, she was like, oh God, okay.
Yeah. Steel
But
myself to do this. Yes.
yeah.
Ugh.
And so she's not acting in those last screaming moments because she was genuinely terrified of what was going on in the movie.
Yeah. And if
And
people
then
haven't
changed
seen
her
it,
forever.
she gets saved at the very, very end, but she's like the last one and
Barely
saved. I mean, she's
Barely.
it's like, and they leave
You're
it
not
open for
convinced till the
Yeah.
credits come on. I wasn't convinced until the
no, you're
credits.
totally. And because they're going to pull every punch that they possibly can
And
because
he's
that
still
guy
running
doesn't
around
quit.
with that chainsaw. Okay,
He's
he's
still-
not tired.
he's
He's still not tired.
He's still going. He's the
And he's having a
Energizer
hissy
Bunny.
fit in the street with his chainsaw because
I
he
know.
done messed up. He let her get away.
I know.
He's having a full-on hissy fit.
I know. That guy
Okay.
is just does
Because
not
he knows
quit.
he's going to go home and his Dee Dee and his brother
I know.
and corpse grandfather, who's
Yeah.
weirdly
By the
still
way,
alive,
yeah.
he's going to get a spanking.
Can we just talk
He's
about
gonna be
that for
grounded.
just a second? That corpse
Sure.
grandfather. I didn't really understand. Was he alive?
Yes,
he was
they
alive.
were keeping him alive. They were keeping him alive by like blood,
Giving human
from
blood to
people
him.
and stuff like that. And the other, actually, you know what the scariest scene in this movie was for me? I just remembered.
What?
Because I wasn't scared. Well, the end, I don't know.
Yeah.
When they give the grandfather the hammer
Oh, dude.
to hit her over the head with.
I know. And he
And
keeps
it's just like
missing.
keeps dropping it. And I was like, oh, that's so real. I mean, it's like he can't
Yes.
hit her on the head. Like,
yes. I
and he's
know.
just, and they're trying to get this old man to hit her on the head with his hammer. It's like, it's just not working out, but it's still hitting her. Oh my God. That's what did me in. That's what does me in with this movie.
Yeah, it's like when you go to get your blood drawn and they can't find your vein and they just keep poking around in there. It was kind of like along those lines. It was like, geez, come on.
Oh, just hit her or
get
don't
it.
already. Like, I can't do this anymore.
Take this. I know. God.
Can't do this.
Yeah,
I know.
Make the pain, make it stop. I know.
Either go or don't go. It's that interim that's so terrifying.
Yeah.
But what a brilliant, what a movie.
Brilliant, scary, terrifying. I'm really proud of myself for at age 50 deciding that I could finally watch it. Like we
knew that. That's why we picked it. We knew you had graduated.
I graduated and I was like, okay, I think I can handle it now.
Yeah.
I still don't ever want to watch it again ever. And it's disgusting.
There are like
it's
5
absolutely
more.
Disgusting.
There are 5 more,
Yeah.
Matthew
Bite me.
McConaughey and Renee Zellweger in the second one. They're all hilarious. They're not scary.
Yeah.
No, they're not scary. They're jokes.
Okay, good.
Oh no.
All right.
You could watch the second one. You need to watch the one with Matthew McConaughey because he plays one of the family members. One of his first acting gigs.
Oh
and I think you should because I watch it. I'm like, oh my God. And Renee Zellweger's in it. And then you're like, oh, and then later they're in Dazed and Confused. Like blah, blah, blah. Anyway, it's
right.
All the ones after are super bloody. They just like kept trying to make it scarier and scarier, and in which case they made it less scary each time.
Right. Yes.
Even the new ones now, there's like a new one every year still. They're just not. They're so bloody and gory, and it just takes the whole fear factor away from me because you've seen the original and you know what really makes it scary.
Yeah, and it's not the blood.
It ain't the blood.
It's the psychological thing. So, also the fact that guy just doesn't quit. I mean, can we just,
never gets
Leatherface,
tired.
A round of applause for that cardio because wow,
he is high on protein or steroids.
Whatever give me some of that. Whatever he's doing,
drinks.
Yeah,
good for him.
Exactly. He gets his vitamin D.
He chugs a Celsius before each murder.
Okay, so we have to take a little pit stop.
Yes.
And the fun part about this is that we are talking about serial killers and, all the things. So we might as well horror. We might as well just keep it rolling with our pit stop.
Oh. Well,
so go ahead and tell us.
Theme.
I have one and you have
we both have one that actually combines in the
Yes.
So mine was I was looking up Brad Pitt's horror filmography.
Yes. Jeez, big
because
words today.
He has a lot of
I'm so impressed.
God.
It's like you ate your Wheaties, girlfriend.
I know.
Yeah.
So he's in like a lot of thrillers. I'm not counting like all the thrillers, but he
Yeah.
was in this movie California with a K, where
Yes.
he plays Early Grace, and he's like a crazy serial killer. And Juliette Lewis, this is when they were
Right.
dating, is his
Right.
inappropriate girlfriend. She's too young. I'm not even going to go there because I'm not telling
Yes.
anybody to watch this movie.
Right. Don't
It's
watch
not
it.
good.
It's not
But
good.
he's a serial killer, major murderer. That was like him playing a serial killer, and
Yes.
it was
Right.
like in 93. So,
And it
and
was
then
not
they
good.
consider no.
Yeah.
But then they said like Interview with a Vampire was a horror movie. I guess. I mean, I
Oh.
thought it was more of a like romance drama
Ish.
between Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise
Okay.
and Kirsten
Yeah.
Dunst and Antonio Banderas.
Okay. I mean,
So
ish. Sure. I don't know if I'd call it
it just didn't seem
horror.
like horror.
It's more like thriller, gothic. Yeah. Scary. I don't know.
Rom-com.
It's practically a rom com.
I think
Everybody
so.
knows Interview with the Vampire. It's
kind of a
a rom
rom-com.
com.
Everybody relax.
It's like a rom
And then
dram.
it's a rom-com.
Yeah.
But and then 95 he did 7. Obviously that is scary, but that's
Yeah.
like kind of horrorish, more thriller.
Yeah.
And then World War Z is like action, I guess. I guess it's
Yes.
horror, but I thought it was thriller. Anyway.
Yeah.
So those are the Brad Pitt horror movies that I wanted
Yes.
to mention, and I
Yeah.
would like you
Yes.
to discuss what you've been learning the last 24 hours.
Yes. So I came home from my gig last night, and of course I was wound up because the gig was in Charlotte, and it was a 2.5-hour drive. So I was like, "Woo!" So I decided to pour myself a drink and watch the whole entire episode of Ted Bundy. The Words of a Killer or whatever. I think that's what it's called, something like that. No, it's like The Killer Speaks or I don't know.
A
I don't
Monster
know.
Speaks.
The Monster Speaks.
Yeah.
And I just learned things about Ted Bundy I didn't know before. I mean, that guy was something. I mean, Ted Bundy was, I
think you need to adjust your tone here.
Well, he was really
right now. It sounds like you're talking about your Big Bopper and like you have posters on the wall.
That guy had when he was finally sentenced from that judge to go to the death chair, the judge was like, "Look, man, you're a real smart guy, and you are just a waste."
They needed to get a room. They were obsessed with each other.
You were just a waste of a human in society. Like I would have loved for you to be a great lawyer and be,
they loved each other, but it was wildly inappropriate.
Yeah, it's disgusting. But at the same time,
and Ted Bundy escaped twice.
He did.
He killed people when he escaped.
I know.
By the way,
and I know.
And this judge was like, "Hats off. Shame on me once." Ted Bundy.
No, but then he sent him to the chair. Okay, so it's fine. The man got what he deserved. But I just wanted to say one little tidbit that I did say in Two Truths and a Lie. I was trying to trip you up, say that I lived in that house that Ted Bundy lived in the avenues in Salt Lake City. I actually did live down the street. And
I knew that.
Not only that, Natalie, I do have a friend, and this is totally true, who did live in that apartment house. They live here now, and they were telling us about it. So they actually did live there. So anyway.
What was the other thing you wanted to mention that goes into the Texas Chainsaw Massacre vibe that you learned about Ted Bundy?
Oh,
that may or may not be. It's like may or may not be true, but it's a little bit about inbreeding.
Oh, yeah. Well, okay. So there's this speculation that Ted Bundy is actually the product of rape from his mother being raped by her own father, which would make Ted Bundy inbred.
So it translates differently via text.
What did you think I said?
Well, no, I just like heard it out loud, and I was like ready to be like, "Oh!" And then I'm like, "Oh, that's unfortunate."
It's rough.
Yeah,
it's real rough. But it's never been proven. It's never been proven because her mother.
Because her mother what?
His mother did she was like a teenager, and she went to like a house for unwed mothers or whatever,
I thought he had a really nice upbringing. I thought he said he loved his parents were lovely.
Didn't. He said that. He maintained that to like his death day, but all of the reports and all of the background information is like, no, it was rough. And his grandfather who raised him was very, very abusive to everybody in the family. And he was awkward, and they always were calling him a bastard because he didn't have a daddy. and they were lying and saying that the grandfather was actually his dad, but then it turns out that maybe he actually was. Like, it was a whole thing. Yeah. I learned a lot from this documentary
I've
today.
seen it. I guess I
Yeah.
slept through that
It was
part or
really
blocked it out.
good. Yeah, it was really good. I mean, I just it's terrifying. It's terrifying that people are roaming the earth and people, don't if some guy comes to you and says he's a cop and he saw somebody breaking into your car and he's wearing a cop outfit. I always call them outfits, and Frank always laughs because I call things outfits, and he's like, "You mean uniform?" Like when I'm watching a sports
Nice
event.
little gentle comedy excerpt in this. We needed it. I was
Like,
about to
I'm watching
throw up.
I'm like watching a
Yeah.
football game, and I'm like, "Oh, I like their outfits." Frank's like, "Oh,
They're so
honey,
cute.
their outfits are so cute."
Yeah. Thank you
Anyway,
for lightening the moment. 'Cause I was
yeah,
about
no
to bawl it.
problem. But he killed a lot of people, and he was awful, and he was a total narcissist. And all I can say is narcissists cannot win, and I can't handle it anymore. And we see what they are. We know what they are. We know what they do. We have to stop them.
We see through you.
I know. We see through
Well,
you.
but also they're brilliant.
They are.
Often very brilliant.
Yes.
Charismatic.
But then I started. Yeah.
Charming.
I know.
If what you're saying is accurate, like he was pretty good looking. Like that's impressive if that's like the way that goes.
I saw
You
some
don't
of
think
the
he was
footage.
handsome?
No, I think there are some pictures of him that make him appear handsome, but there is some footage in this film where you see what he really looked like, and especially the moment where they went to go get his dental records, because they had to
right.
prove that his bite mark was because he
Right.
left a bite mark on two of
I
these
know.
victims, and
Right.
that's how they actually were able to like
And
have
did he have like
evidence.
toenails for teeth or
Yes,
what?
Natalie. They were
Mhm.
like snaggly and disgusting and gross. Like, in fact, I'm going to send you a screenshot of his
I'm
teeth.
good.
I
No,
mean, since we're
okay.
back to the teeth thing,
Yes, now we're full
Uh-huh.
circle. I'm definitely gonna
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a nightmare tonight that my toenails snaggly for teeth fall out of my mouth. And have
Yeah.
become like
Yeah.
Christmas tree ornaments.
Yeah. Ooh, gross. Oh, now I know what
That's
I'm
like
getting you
Texas
for
Chainsaw Massacre.
Christmas. I know I'm going to get you that for
I
Christmas.
swear to God. I swear to God.
Okay, well, happy
All right.
Halloween, everybody. I mean, did we freak you
Happy
out enough? Did we
Halloween.
scare you enough? Did we gross you out enough? Like, hey, check your Snickers bars. Don't make sure there's no
Razor blades in them?
razor blades or, anybody doing drag shows inside your. Did you see that meme? It was hilarious. Make sure there's no razor blades inside your Snickers bars. Don't bob for apples. I'm going to go ahead and say bobbing for apples is just weird and should not be done. And I've done it. So have you ever done it?
Yeah. Why is it bad?
It's weird.
Everybody's got their mouths all over everybody.
Yes,
Certainly not after COVID.
It's You put a
it's
bunch
kinda
of
gross.
apples in a thing and
It's a bucket of saliva and you put your head in it.
right. All the
Just
Halloween.
go French kiss everybody at the fair and skip that at the harvest
Right.
party. Just go French kiss everybody and you can say you bobbed for apples.
Right.
Okay?
Yep.
It's about the same.
Yeah. Just like lick the Ferris wheel bar or something. Ugh, gross.
All right.
All right. Well, on that note,
Well,
poor Jeffrey is like, I can't listen to
about
these
to
ladies anymore.
vomit.
He's about. Sorry.
Sorry.
But this is the content people come here for, okay? I can't help it. I can't help it. I mean,
We
this is
give
what
the
they want
people
to
what
hear.
they want.
Give them what they want.
Yeah.
Anywho, happy Halloween again.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Woo.
And what I would like to say to you is that, namaste running through the field with my chainsaw. Okay?
Mm. Namaste, impressed with the never getting tired.
Yeah, same. That's
If you have
heavy
to
duty.
take something away from that, it's that I don't want to be tired all the time. I don't want to get tired so easily. I want to not get tired that easily.
Yeah. When you have
It's impressive.
when you have a goal in mind,
Oh,
you just got to keep going for
I
it.
still get tired. You know what? I just need to focus more.
Yeah.
And that's my
focus.
biggest takeaway. Focus.
Yeah.
Thank you, Texas
That's our
Chainsaw
biggest
Massacre. Focus, and you don't get tired.
There it is. That's it.
Go after what you want, and
Yes.
you won't get tired.
Anything is possible.
You can do it.
Yes. Live your
Don't
dreams.
kill people, but just
Right.
go for it.
Go for the gold.
You got this.
Now, isn't that better? Thanks for listening. Feel free to leave us a review and be sure to subscribe wherever you get your shows. Put Your Books Down is produced by ClantonCreative.com.